Just 2 weeks ago, I was in Orlando at Phantasm, and I was talking to James Jude Courtney, Michael Myers from Halloween Kills. I was also talking to Nick Castle, had him sign my poster. And one of the things we were talking about was this very night, this very day, 2 weeks ago, we were talking about the premiere of Halloween Kills and how much I was looking forward to going, because I do love this franchise. And so yesterday, when I got off work, the first thing I watched was Halloween 2018. Wanted it to be fresh in my memory. Then I went to a cookout, which kind of served as a little bit of a Halloween Kills tailgate party, because me and some of those people ended up going to see the movie last night. And with that, welcome to the channel. Side Hustle Cinema here, and I'm going to give just a real quick review of my thoughts. There'll be some spoilers in this. I really don't know how to talk about it without doing spoilers. So, yeah, there's some things I liked, a couple things I didn't like. I'll talk about it. Yeah, I really loved the scenes that they recreated from 1978. It was the scenes of like the cops and the aftermath where they arrest Michael Myers. That looked amazing. I don't know how they did it, but they made it feel like it was from 78. And like even the audio, I think, sounded like a little bit older or something. I mean, it was weird. I don't know. I want to watch that one again. They recreated Loomis in that scene. You know, they had his voice. You know, you could kind of see someone who looked sort of like him. And that was just really an awesome scene. I was surprised by it. And that was done so well. Another thing is the movie was very fast paced and, you know, definitely wasn't boring. That's a positive, and it's also a negative. I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. The kills were definitely elevated. He used a whole bunch of different, you know, objects to kill people. It was definitely a lot gorier than in the past. You know, a couple creative kills here and there. I really love the firefighter scene, how he escapes from the house. You know, that was just it was believable and it was well done. I like the returning characters, especially Tommy Doyle. You know, I mean, he was really the main focus of this movie. You know, a lot of people probably knew going into it. I did. Jamie Lee Curtis isn't in the movie a whole lot. You know, she's recovering in the hospital. Maybe that was actually part of the problem, was it didn't like really have a strong focus on like one person or one storyline. It was a little bit all over the place because they were just jumping around, tying up loose ends. You know, what happened to this person, that person, because you have to remember all this is taking place right after the first movie ends. You know, after 2018 ends. This is all just one night. Does that make for a real good movie? In my opinion, I don't think so. But that's what we had, and it's like the longest night in the world, apparently, too. You know, I think this night lasts about 3 days, because when you take all the events from 2018, you know, you think it would be almost morning, you know, when that movie ends, but all of a sudden, you know, this one starts, and they must have like turned the clock back a little bit, because, you know, you got people just going out for the night, like the night just started, like it's like, you know, 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I mean, you still got kids running around on the street trick-or-treating. I mean, like trick-or-treating, you know, was over, but like, you know, like people should have shut it down and went to sleep by then. So anytime you're dealing with this sort of a timeline, you're going to have some timeline issues. And I just seen it once. I mean, there's going to be people that are going to cut this movie to pieces over these timeline issues, and I think there'll probably be a lot of them. So, you know, if you like that sort of thing, I can forgive that stuff. I'm not going to dwell on it too much. I mean, inconsistencies with the Halloween franchise. I'm not going to worry about that too much. But yeah, so I'm sure there's going to be a ton of them. I just seen it the one time after a long day. I'm sure there was tons of stuff I missed. I thought the score of the movie was good. They tried to change it up a little bit, and there was only one time where I felt like it really kind of didn't work. And that was during those scenes where the lady who was flying the drone, where she got killed, they played like some kind of a funky beat, version of the Halloween music. That was the only time where I felt like it didn't quite land. But, it was a quick scene. It didn't bother me that much. But now I'm going to talk about some of the things that kind of hurt the movie for me and sort of took me out of it a little bit. And I can tell you, I was a little bit, apprehensive about doing this review. And one of the reasons why is because I checked out some of the reviews. People seem to be loving this movie. And I haven't heard a whole lot of negative yet. I think it will come, but I haven't heard a ton of negative. People seem to just be eating up what they've seen. And sometimes you get that popcorn high, and you're just feeling good because you've been wanting to see this movie for so long, and you want to like it so much. So I think people's opinions are going to change a little bit on this movie as time goes on. So now talking about some of the things I didn't like about it. As much as I did appreciate the fast pace, and I usually always do in movies, this movie, it would have been nice to have seen it shift gears a little bit and maybe, went from 100 miles an hour and shifted back down, to first gear and then let it ramp up again. It just seemed it didn't have a Halloween movie feel to it for me. You didn't get a whole lot of those moments where people are just having a good time and they don't know about Michael, and then Michael finds him, You didn't get hardly any of those stalker moments where, you see Michael and it's like, ooh, who did I see over there? What's going on? Who's that guy behind the bush? You didn't get any of that cat and mouse kind of stalker stuff that, we've kind of grown to love about the Halloween franchise. And we didn't get a lot of those moments in this one, and I understand why, because it's a continuation of 2018, the same night. So I get why it has to happen, or I get why it happens like that, but I didn't like it. One of the other things that I really didn't like was there seemed to be maybe some manufactured outrage or fake outrage that I was just having a hard time believing. And it involves the mob, really, and just sort of the townspeople in general. Because, a lot of these people didn't really know about the murders that just took place that night. They, because these things had just happened hours before. There would be some stuff on the news, but all the details shouldn't be out. This idea that they would be so upset over something that happened 40 years ago. I mean, Tommy Doyle, you understand, because he was a part of it, and some of the other survivors. But the rest of the town, I mean, Michael only killed 3 people 40 years ago. Are you really going to hold on to that much anger for 40 years? I mean, I don't know about you and where you live, but, in Jacksonville, Florida, 3 people die like nearly every single day. I mean, that's on the news. So, but 40 years? That's a long time. I mean, anyone who is an adult when all the murders happen are probably going to be in their 60s. And then you look at the mob, and there was a lot of young people in there, or people that only looked to be, maybe 40, maybe. So, like, what did he do? He pissed off a bunch of 3rd graders back in '78? But I get it. I mean, Tommy Doyle kind of rallied the troops. He got everybody riled up. And probably my biggest complaint, and one of the things I liked, hated, I'm going to say hated, was the way the mob dealt with Michael at the end of the movie. I didn't mind the way they dealt with him, but when he got his revenge, when he got his bounce back, they robbed us of seeing that scene. I mean, when they showed the mob beating up Michael, we got to see a nice widescreen, wide angle version, you had people shooting them, people are stabbing them. You had, baseball bats, 2x4s, hockey sticks, wrenches. I mean, people had everything. I mean, he should be out of it, And then you start to see these cutscenes. And you got Jamie Lee Curtis talking about, you can't kill him with brute force, which scares the crap out of me, by the way, because I don't want any kind of hocus pocus nonsense going on in Halloween Ends where, we have to kill him with love, or, whatever that was, whatever she was alluding to. I don't know what it was, but it kind of worries me. But she says, you can't kill him with brute force. The boogeyman doesn't die, and all this stuff. And then you start to see these cutscenes where Michael is now killing the mob. But they're these quick little cutscenes. We're seeing him stab someone in the neck. He's, knocking the gun away from someone and, causing them to shoot themselves in the head. And even his confrontation with Tommy Doyle, that should have been so much more epic. But we were robbed of that battle, man. We did not get it. This wasn't like Tommy Jarvis versus Jason in Part 6. This wasn't Laurie Strode versus Michael in H2O. Or even Laurie Strode versus Michael in 2018. Those were all epic battles. Tommy Doyle did not get that battle. We got a cutscene. You didn't even get to see him get stabbed in the stomach. Like, it's like he just leans in and he's like, that's what we got, And then all of a sudden he takes Michael's got the bat. Why couldn't they show the choreography, a wide angle view of the fight with the crowd, the mob? Like, why did they have to rob us of that? Oh, that sucked. And maybe because of that happens at the very end of the movie, maybe that left me with a bit of a bad taste in my mouth for the movie. I don't know. But truthfully, the more I've been thinking about the movie, I was going to do this review last night. This is early in the morning. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm doing this. I was going to do the review last night, but I wanted to think about it a little bit. Because I did see some reviews, and everyone just seemed to be loving it. I didn't want to just jump on and give my opinion without at least letting it sink in for a minute, thinking about it. And so, yeah, I'm left kind of feeling unsatisfied, unfulfilled. It didn't meet my expectations. Although there was things I liked, there's some things I didn't like. Well, anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble on. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment. Tell me what your thoughts and opinions are about the movie. I don't mind if you disagree with me. Just be respectful, though. Don't be too harsh. It's just an opinion. Everyone's got them. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed it more than I did. Because I want people to enjoy movies. I love the franchise. I want it to do well. I hope it makes a ton of money at the box office. I'm already looking forward to Halloween Ends. I'll be there day one as well. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Stay safe, have fun, keep watching those movies, and I'll catch you on the next one.